Guys, we are so back.
We're back.
Let's go. So we gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room right here. Where? Well,
What are you saying?
bro had to let one out.
He's got it. Now.
Oh, never mind. He had some.
Got the juice. I thought he was pulling a Shirley Temple for a second. But they kept so
The Kevin special.
where's that with? And
Hold on.
that
That reminds me of the Double Dutch music video where you're just pouring.
is that wait hold on? That has to be like an actual menu item.
On the All for Him coffee house thing that we're gonna.
Oh, absolutely. We need a coffee house.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be the Kev special.
The Kevin special.
The Kev special is no coffee. Like at a coffee shop called
Water.
I told Ryan we should have a coffee shop called Hebrews.
I think that's a thing.
That's
a
thing.
But he said it's on the West Coast.
So like yeah, if I made it East Coast,
When I'm gonna choose a cheesy name for my coffee shop competition and my opponent is Kevin, bro. Hebrews.
yeah.
That's I actually like that.
Hopefully they don't have a pouch.
On the name or something.
And hopefully not. We just call it Hebrews or something like that.
I was thinking it could be like, you know how Starbucks has the pink drink
The Kev special, right?
or the Kev juice.
Kev juice.
Isn't it Kev juice?
Kev juice.
I don't know. The Kev special sounds really Kev. Actually, I like
Kevlar. Oh,
Kevlar. Oh,
I will drink to that.
Gentlemen,
What are you rocking today, Dan? Well, because I think
ask Ryan.
so. I texted him and I said, "What type of coffee do you want?" And he said, "Warm coffee." But bro, ice.
oh my gosh, you're right. That's
Ice-
not.
Oh,
He can't be here anymore.
I don't even remember what
The
I
ice
said.
couldn't-
You said,
I'm going.
Let's step out.
"Bye, Ryan. Bye."
Where's the ice?
It's chill. I love
It is chill. It's literally not hot.
I was
Yeah,
wow.
coffee's good.
When I'm in a corny competition and my competition is Caleb, bro. Yo, you got me there, bud.
Bro, let's go.
Bro said Hebrews? Nah.
No, but
I think
chill.
coffee is chill.
I looked. So it started raining today, and
Really?
hold on, I'm not done. Stop the breath. And it started raining today, and I literally stood outside and I crossed my arms like this, and I went, "Dang, we need this." And I went, "Wait, what am I doing? How old am I?" I mean, it was one of the moments of
I'm actually 26 and I do that.
the crops needed this.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry, Caleb. I didn't want to interrupt you this time, but
No, it's okay, Ryan.
you said I cross my arms and then you place them on your hips.
This is not crossing your arms.
Guys,
This is
I
like
might,
dangling your
I
arms.
might be stupid.
Maybe he crossed his hips and put them on his arms.
Oh my gosh.
I went.
Future Kevin, can we get like
A visual.
Future cat.
not visual? Actually, we'll do a post where he's just like he tries to figure it out because I think it's like a movement. It's like this,
Yeah.
but it starts here and then it goes down here.
Right.
So it's like a little dance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What? A question.
Bro, ponder real quick.
Question really quick. What is y'all's go-to standing pose? Because I kind of typically lean to my left hip, kind of like this, and kind of just either I'll cross my arms or I won't do this often, but I'll kind of cross my arms. I'll just put my hands in my pockets. What are y'all's poses? What are y'all's average standing poses? How do you stand, bro?
Bro, how do you stand?
Stand, bro.
I don't know if I like monitor myself when I stand, if I like think about it. I played soccer for such a long time.
Yeah.
There's like a stance you do where you like have one foot pointed this way and then your dominant foot pointed kind of the other. You have this like straight. So I definitely do that, but I don't think about it. So
I played soccer too. So I think
I didn't play soccer,
yeah.
actually.
Ryan grew up
That's
with
like
football.
let's just swipe this over. They gotta do that.
I said, this coffee sucks.
Do you know how much we paid for this table?
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Wait, so okay, you don't really pay attention to how you stand. Oh, I was about to say no. I do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I have to lean on one leg.
It's soccer.
You did a little leak there, but where did they leak?
Bro's leaking.
I lean on my leg, man. But then the other leg kind of hits like the little angle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where like all the body weight's on one and then the other has none. So you're just like chilling out for a second. But if it's not that, I have freaking what is it called? Is it platypus feet or is it frog feet or like pigeon feet? Pigeon toed. I have something like this that my feet are like almost like a 90 degree. Yeah. Hey, unironically, it's my favorite animal. Yeah. But like whenever I stand still, I can't stand with my feet like straight. They have to be slanted.
Wait, I have noticed that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, it's
Wow, bro. Way to call this man out.
Oh, I have noticed that.
I noticed it, and it's
He's like, why not? Like, watch him stand. He's like,
No,
taking notes.
he's doing it. He's doing it again. No, bro, really want like he's disabled, huh? What?
that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We apologize.
Oh no,
maybe we should just cut that because I laughed really hard.
no, you're
Cut. No, future Kevin, cut that.
No, that's actually really weird because I have the same thing. Okay, so the way I stand, I didn't think I'd get into a conversation about how I stand, but I watched a lot of Star Wars. I can't stand talking about this. I watched a lot of Star Wars, and all the villains, they stand like this.
They do the same very proper.
Fast. That's so fast.
They stand very
Looking
proper.
down, and their hands are behind their back. So I do that a lot.
Yeah.
And, people will be like, are you cool? Are you okay?
I was about to say his favorite color was red. So,
Guys, I might be on the dark side.
Yeah.
But I also did the same thing you do. I have my feet. She went to the doctor about this like last year.
Sorry, told your medical
And it's because my feet are really flat. And so I lean my feet this way.
you have flat foot too, then.
So
I also have
when
flat foot.
so you guys, when you guys squat at the
More like flat foot.
Yeah.
How does that?
we do not support any theories here and podcast. So when you guys squat at the gym, can you actually just keep your heels straight on the ground and they don't bring up slightly? Yeah, I can't do this. Legit. When I squat, my heels slightly go up and it's so frustrating.
You know what you need? You need my 7th grade gym teacher. Because we called him, I can't say his name. It's really funny though. I'll tell you later. So he was really intense. I think he used to be a football coach.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, he was like huge.
Yeah.
He was a big guy.
Yeah.
Solid muscle.
And built.
He would walk down the gym as we were all squatting in synchronization. It was a whiplash,
Yeah.
but at the gym. And he would look at your feet and he would say, "Pause. Why are your feet off the ground?" And if you didn't do it right, he'd make you do 10 push-ups.
Dang.
So you learn very quickly,
Yeah.
keep those things on the ground.
Yeah.
You pop a mean squat after like a class.
You're going, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
No, he didn't even want you to respond. I just want you very good guy.
Yeah. I went to the gym this morning at 5 a.m. It felt so great. Kevin does this almost every morning, goes to the gym early. But I went this morning.
Kevin, what else do you do?
When I squat, I actually go on my tippy toes because it's a variation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I do sissy squats, so it's crazy. Like but it's good for my feet since I have flat foot.
Yeah.
That I'll squat, and then as I'm squatting, I'm on my tippy toes the whole time, so my quads get like a crazy engagement.
Do you know the thing where you put your feet on a plate or something?
Oh, that's such a good idea. I need.
What is that? I should start doing that more.
Yeah, I
that's
need
more
to do that,
stable.
yeah.
But I'm like,
Probably help you like not drop it. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's another thing too. That's like another level of free weights. Though. If you think about it, like,
Yeah.
I never even thought about doing that though. That sounds so unsafe.
no, let's read out. No free weights. It's myth. It's myth.
It's just
Guys,
why?
because free weights on tippy toes, you're gonna.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds so dangerous.
Yeah, I have the craziest balance. My feng shui is insane. I'm feng shui. It's not. What is feng shui? Feng shui is like the. I'm about to say another bad word, like ethos. But you're gonna ask me what ethos is, right?
Evos.
No, like the aesthetic of something. Like apparently, when you go in a room, it has to have the elements of like fire, water, earth, and winds to make it like feel balanced.
How did we get into Avatar? I was just asking what fun.
Bro, me entering the room and looking for the fire, earth, and wind. I'm just, dang, where it at, bro?
That's the thing. You ever walk into like a room that's in one of those museums where they have like a bunch of like plants and then water and stuff, and you feel comfortable? Yeah. That's feng shui because you naturally feel that. Yeah. So
okay, is our
Avatar.
townhouse feng shui?
it's the house. Wait, no, it's actually not bad.
We'll make it more fun.
Make it more factual.
Yeah,
Let's just plant a garden in our house.
That's what we're missing.
I come home and Ryan is just doing topsoil.
Back to my roots. Back to my roots.
Literally, back to your roots.
Yep. This house is get more feng shui by the minute.
Did no one get that? I said back to your roots, and I said,
Dude,
why aren't you guys laughing? This is supposed to be comedy.
remember the corny competition? You're still reign supreme right
Guys,
You're up there.
if being a corny person was the Olympics, I'd have 15 gold medals.
Yeah, you'd be the Michael Phelps.
I'd be Michael Phelps of the corny
This
competition.
fool would be Michael Phelps.
I'm the cheesy corny
We do
competition.
what they call the go. The go FB corny.
Yeah, you guys keep
I bet freaking goats eat corn, no? Bro,
Goats do eat.
Please,
corny.
future Kevin, do not zoom in on me right now. My licking caramel off my cup. Always.
All right. On another note, Dan. So we call bro Danmar, but his real name is actually Daniel Martin. So his artist name is Danmar. He does have a real name.
Yeah, I don't actually want people to know that, but it's okay.
I mean, his name is Dinkleberry Martinstein.
Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry Finn, right here.
It's Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
That's my name.
you read the book?
Yeah, his name is actually Huckleberry Finn. So,
Just kidding.
Not that either.
bro's parents hate him. They were reading the book and they're saying, "Yeah, good name. Yeah, I like this.
I like that name.
I like that name." So, Dan, tell us a little bit about your story, bro. We know your story, but there are some people who don't. So, just tell us a little about your story and how you got into doing music,
Yeah, how far back should I go?
bro. I more or less your testimony. We want to hear your testimony.
Testimony. Okay.
Yeah.
So how I came to Christ and how I came to do music, two kind of separate things. But how I came to Christ, in 2000, between 2019 2020. So this is kind of my like backstory, like for context.
Yeah.
So I was in high school, junior, senior year. I played soccer, was on varsity, which isn't the biggest deal, but our team was really good. So that, like for me, like I took it really seriously.
Right.
I mean, you're in high school, like you're gonna take that kind of stuff seriously. So that was a big deal for me. I really enjoyed that. Found like community, family doing that. I was preparing to go over to Europe at some point. I knew that was like the path that I was heading down to go play professional soccer. So I was playing at a decent high level. I was playing NPL. So there's like 6 or 7 levels. There's classic 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
RPO, NPL, ECNL, and then MLS next. That's kind
So you were pretty close. I did not know this.
yeah.
Actually.
And I played in a lot of ECNL tournaments, and I played with a lot of guys that played MLS next. So like it's all the same. If you're RPL, to me it's all the same.
Hey. So you were really good.
I used to be. But anyways, that was kind of my life. My life revolved around a ball and field. I prayed, but I wasn't like a full-on believer. I was actually dating an atheist, and she started asking me questions about like who Jesus was and like why did I pray and stuff. Because I would talk about it sometimes.
Yeah.
I led the prayer at the games, stuff like that. And she asked me one day, she's like, "So who is Jesus? Like, why does everyone say he died?" I'm like, "Hold on, I don't actually know." So I believe that Jesus was God. I believe that God was always there. So in a way, like I don't even know if that you would call that saved. But anyways, my faith was that God was there. That was my belief. And I prayed. I just prayed the wrong things. I prayed things that were really bad and immature. Like, God help me to go to more parties. God help me to get girls. Like, God help me to do, like, it was just really bad stuff that I was praying. But there were some things that I prayed that were good. And there was one prayer I think that genuinely changed the trajectory of my life. So I remember I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I was looking at the ground and I asked God and I was like, "God, please like hold on to me and never let go of me."
Wow.
And I think like God genuinely answered that prayer. I think it was from that point forward, I started noticing like a change in like my thoughts and that kind of stuff. And people around me started ministering to me.
Yeah.
Like now that I look back, I knew that, but at the time I had no idea. Like people around me were like, "Hey, you know, by the way, blah, blah, this is sin." And I'm like, "Okay, why are you telling me this? Like, what's a sin?" And those things would stick with me because the lifestyle I was living was like getting drunk, you know, doing lots of things I shouldn't have been doing. And like my sisters, for example, were two of those people, even though, you know, my family at the time, like to a major extent, we weren't living a very devout life, but there were things that they would tell me, like, especially my sisters, that would really stick with me in my head. Like, hey, the Bible says this, you should not be doing that. And then when I would go do those things, and I did it for like a long time, years after they told me, I would think about what they said every time. It's like that seed, like, really sat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, after my girlfriend at the time in high school, my senior year, started asking me some of those questions, I started praying and like really searching of like, okay, like, is there like God, like you're there, right? Like,
Right.
do I really know who you are? Like, do you have a personality? Like, why did you die? Like, why did Jesus die on the cross? You know, what is this big reason that is so important that I have to know? And 2020 rolls around. So again, I was planning on going to Europe and playing. I wanted to go to Germany. I don't know where I would have gone. Excuse me. And I had a friend that went to Spain. I had another friend, I think, that went to Portugal and played. So I was like, okay, cool, maybe I'll go to Spain. But I took 4 years of German, so I like really wanted to go to Germany. And for the record, like, it would not have been like Bundesliga. It would not have been anything crazy.
Yeah.
It probably would have been like third or fourth league, maybe not even third. Like, I would have been living with a family. I would have been a reserve. I would have getting paid like 35, 40K a year, like very minimal. And I would have had to work really hard to work my way up. So it wasn't anything crazy, but the opportunity was there. So
You were planning to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like that's still pretty good, fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your foot in the door. And all that.
yeah, for sure. That in itself, I think, was really a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So that was my life. And then in searching and that opportunity coming to, you know, pass, whatever you want to call it, COVID happened. So I couldn't go over to Europe. So that door was shut. Like, you know, all the airports, everything shut down. And then I started really praying and whatnot. One day after high school, I went over to a buddy of mine's house. His name was Grosso. And his mom is a very, very devout believer. Still to this day, I still keep in touch with her. And she's been a huge part of my testimony. And I went upstairs. We're playing spike ball in his basement. That's what we did like every day
Such a dope.
after practice. And I went upstairs to go grab some water. And I know his mom was there. She's like, hey, how are you? I was like, good. Like, is it cool if I grab some water? Blah, blah, blah. And I just started asking her questions because, like, I knew she was a devout Christian. I was like, hey, so, like, you know, what does the Bible say about, like, this and this? And another huge thing, too, is, like, at the time during COVID, everybody was on TikTok, bro. TikTok
Yeah.
was, like,
TikTok that's how it kind of got started.
That's basically really crazy because it's the only place a lot of people could talk to each other.
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
And that was another place that I was being ministered from. Actually, probably mostly was people on TikTok, just believers, like, just preaching the gospel. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't get drunk. I'm like, what? Like, it's a sin to, like, watch porn? Like, what? Like, all this stuff? Like, I can't do this, blah, blah. And I'm going to her with questions. And this is like the defining moment, at least in my opinion, is like, she laid hands on me and she, after that whole conversation, baptized me in the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
And then,
Dang.
bro, it was like night and day of like the things that I knew I needed to cut out of my life from that point forward. I was like, okay, not drinking anymore, and that, you know, gonna stop watching porn, like all these different things, and fighting through those things and like growing closer with the Lord. And then the real point when I committed my life to Christ was like telling the girlfriend that I was dating at the time, and it's super hard to explain to someone who doesn't believe. It's like, hey, my relationship with God is like getting intimate and
Yeah.
close, and like I'm not supposed to be, you know, unequally yoked with an unbeliever.
Right.
You know, like, don't take this person, blah, blah, blah. But like, I think our lives and our values are just different. And I think they're too different. And I really want to marry somebody who has the same beliefs as me. It's nothing against her. She's a sweet girl. I still pray for her to this day. I hope and pray that she finds Christ. And, you know, she's doing great or whatever.
And she was asking you questions too, which is good. That she's more looking for something at least.
Exactly. But yeah, you know, having that conversation of like, I came to the realization that I have to end this relationship. That was super hard, you know, because you're in high school, like you're in a different place mentally. Yeah. You're less mature. Like, those are the things that matter to you more. It's like what team you're on, who your friends are, who you're dating. Like, and since I had my value in those things, it was hard to give those things up. Yeah. But I was able to give those things up. All praise and glory to the Lord. and he gave me strength to get through that. And that was like the beginning of my walk for sure, was like that point. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you know, you're saying people are really immature in high school. Like, remember how I was in high school? You know, you don't really think that far ahead most of the time, but the fact that you did is real testament to your, I mean, not necessarily conversion, but you kind of like woke up.
Yeah, for sure.
So it sounds like we almost became saved around the same time, because I committed my life to Christ officially on February 26, 2020. When did you officially commit your life to Christ?
Yeah. So that was definitely around that time. I was definitely like, the Spirit was definitely like probably like ministering to me.
Yeah.
I like fully committed my life to Christ that summer. I wish I knew the day.
Yeah.
I don't actually know the day. I would say it's the day that I ended the relationship. But
Yeah. I think it's February 26th for me. It's between that or February 28th. It's in February though. I know that. So, and
probably summer.
yeah. No, dude, that's so cool. And it's so cool to hear your growth going and actually almost giving stuff up. Do you think the Lord shutting that door on soccer, was that essentially his way of saying, okay, Dan, I want you to prioritize something else in your life?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So here's next part of the story. If you're cool if I go into it.
Oh, of course. By all means.
Yeah.
Be open and honest.
Yeah. So the next part of that story is I ended up committing to a school that was willing to play during COVID. They were close to home. They were Christian, because at the time I was a brand new believer. I wanted to go somewhere Christian. I really at the time wanted to commit to a D1.
Yeah.
But I definitely was not good enough my senior year to commit to a D1. The best offer I had was like the best D2 team in the nation, which would have been a reserve spot. I probably wouldn't have gotten to play much there at all, but still. So anyways, I ended up going to a small school in West Georgia called Truett McConnell. And that experience was just really not a good experience. I found a great community. I really had felt like the coach did not like me, or that there was some serious, like, I don't even know if I would use the word hatred going on, but to put it in perspective, my roommate and I, my freshman year, we scored the same amount of goals. We didn't score much, but it was the same amount of goals. He kept his scholarship money. I lost some of mine. So I was like,
Dang.
stuff like that, like that's just the tip of the iceberg, where I was really starting to question. And I don't fault my coach or anybody else at all. I have so much love for them, and I genuinely do have so much respect for those people.
Yeah.
It was genuinely, I believe it was God pushing me away from Truett, and that was not my calling, is to go into soccer. And then, there's the whole thing about politics and, who gets to play. And it turns into just like, in my opinion, like in very in depth and a serious mental battle of like, kill or be killed.
Yeah.
And that's just no way to live, man.
No.
It's a game. Soccer is a game. And in my mind too, I'm putting so much pressure on myself, because I'm like, man, I've done this my whole life. Like, I have an agent, I have all these great opportunities. Like, I'm not getting to play as much as I in my own mind, I thought I should. That was my opinion, of course. Like, everyone probably has that opinion of themselves. So you got to deal with that too. That's another factor.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm in this school in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. I'm barely getting any playing time. I had this great opportunity that I can't do anymore. Like, what am I supposed to do now with my life? So my plan was play the 4 years there, then go play professional Europe. So this is where it gets crazy. Is 2 years in, I kind of came to the end of myself, like just everything having like going on mentally, and just that fight of trying to get playing time and trying to feel loved and trying to fight for a spot. And, you're always trying to perform, and it's just this constant, almost like putting on a front. It's like, dude, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like,
You were tired of the facade almost.
literally.
Yeah.
It's like, you go to a team meeting, you got to perform. People are kissing up to the coach, and, it's just like, that's not who these people are.
Right.
I'm just like, I'm tired of wanting to be something that I'm not.
Yeah.
And just having like a character that's just not me. And, of course, like, everyone there, like, you want to respect authority and all that, which, that I give people that. But like, then there's the whole thing of like, just pretending to be somebody that you're not, that it's like, you're just getting a spot, and then the politics mixes in with that. And it's just like, man, I just got sick and tired of that.
Yeah. And imagine.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Job moment of like, I had so many doors shut in my life at that time, like a relationship that I thought was going to work, the thing with the coach, like I had another thing going on. I remember I went to the park. I left my apartment, went to the park because, you know, Jesus would always go off and pray by himself. So I tried to do that as like go spend time with the Father alone by myself in my word. And I was like, God, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what is my purpose? Like, you made me for a reason. Like your word says this, like, according to your word, I'm chosen. Like, you love me, you gave your life on the cross. And by that, like, all this stuff and like eternal life and everything. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? And around the time, especially my second year at Truett playing college soccer, there were so many people that had been coming up to me and telling me, hey, like, maybe you should think about taking music seriously. And I was like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I would get made fun of. Like, I don't know, my music's good enough. But like, there were like probably 2 or 3 people in my life that were consistently telling me that I was close with. That were like, dude, just try it. Just do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Who cares what other people think? I was like, you know what? You're right. The worst that could happen is I get a cool hobby out of it.
Yeah.
But maybe I make some money on the side doing it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Just creative outlet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gas and food and whatnot. Have fun doing it, you know?
So, sorry, you might have mentioned this earlier, but when did your kind of fascination with music start?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a great question. So high school for sure. My freshman year of high school, especially because of like culture at the time. Culture with everything with just hip hop. Hip hop was popping. Yeah. And like 2015 to like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Hip hop was top dog.
Yep.
So like, dude, I wouldn't talk to anyone walking through school. Like, I would dab people up. That was it. I had my earbuds in. I'd be full volume, like blasting some like Lil Uzi or Drake or like YB and Namir, like anything like that. Like, I was blasting. So that's like when I became obsessed with it. And then of course, like, people don't realize how influential those people are until you like really sit down and think about it. You
think about the lyrics and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what you're putting into your mind and your brain, and like you start to repeat it out loud because like it's catchy. And that's like, you kind of like turn into like almost what you listen to. It's like people start rolling down their windows and they want to put their arm over the wheel and they got chains on and stuff. And next thing you know, like you're living in pride when all you've been listening, putting in your ears is just pride. So I feel like that's kind of when I became obsessed with music. And then I started to gain wisdom on like how I think I want to put life into the industry instead of like put out a persona of pride. And yeah, I would say around that time is when I became like super interested in it. And then I think around my sophomore year of high school, I asked my dad if for like either my Christmas or my birthday, if I could get a little Scarlett 2i2.
Oh, the classic Scarlett. Even I know what that is, and I don't work in this.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I feel like everybody who gets into music has that little thing when they first start.
That's just amazing. People like some of the YouTubers I used to follow.
Yeah, they use it too.
Like I would look up, what do they have? Because I wanted to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So many of them at Scarlett.
Yeah.
And you got your Scarlett?
I got my Scarlett, and that's when I started. And so going back to, me at the park, I was praying, and, at that time, I had been doing music for, I think, like 5 years. So I'm just starting to get, like, okay.
Yeah.
I think up to this point, it's my sophomore year of college. I've been, like, really fighting on social media to, like, make connections and stuff. So, like, DMing people and like knocking down people's doors over through the phone. Or like I probably annoyed so many people. I feel nowadays I look back, I'm like, why did I do that? But I made some good connections.
Yeah. That's sometimes what you have to do. I mean,
it's like giving like cold calls almost like as a business person.
Yeah.
Like say if you don't even know how good your product is or something, or the songs, you never know who's gonna.
Oh yeah.
You do what you have to do.
Literally. And where the story gets really cool is shortly after that prayer, I want to say the next day, I got a DM from a platinum selling producer. His name was John, and I've told this testimony a million times, but his name is John. And I asked him, I was like, how did you find me? And he was like, oh, my wife looked up like top 10 Christian rappers in the state of Georgia. And I was like, bro, but I had like 150, maybe 200 monthly listeners, bro. Like that's not top 1 million, dog. Like that's.
Does Georgia just not have any rappers or something? I was just saying they have a lot. I know they do. That's the thing.
I'm like,
maybe back then they didn't.
I'm like, bro, I'm not even in the question. Like, I'm not even considered a rapper yet. 150 monthly listeners, like, if even. So I'm like, it was God that he found me, and he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I want you to do this song. So he sends me the file. I record it like within an hour, I think the same day.
Yeah.
I sent it back by that night, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I waited a week. I don't remember. But I know I sent it back to him like really quick.
Yeah.
Like quick turnaround time. And he was like, okay, bet, like this is dope. Like we'll use this one. I was like, okay, I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's before, like in context. And so he's like, hey, like this is gonna be for like a Bible app special type thing.
Wow.
And I was like,
yo, that's actually sick.
yeah, and it was really cool. And I was like, okay, so that did not process. I was like, oh, okay, like it's something like it is a Bible app.
I said something like not the app that everybody uses.
No, yeah, no, I didn't think it was.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, like this is something small, like whatever. And then I get the call to do a music video for it. So I drove into Atlanta like really early in the morning. I had a game the same day, so I'm like rushing. It's like
Double time.
mad early. I got up at like 5:30 maybe to get there. And bro, walk in and it's amazing set. And
Wow.
The U version staff is there. And maybe it was the U version staff. Somebody that they had like really, really, really fantastic photography crew. I mean, it looked like they had the movie cameras. They had one of the rigs that you could hold over your back.
The easy rig that I have.
They had an easy rig, bro. They had some serious cameras, man.
Yeah.
Even to this day, they had some serious cameras. That was the first, or I think the second only video I'd ever done. So I was like really not experienced at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just giving it my all. I'm like overdoing it. Like, and after, the whole video was kind of done, like John finally came up to me, the guy who like reached out to me for the thing. He introduced himself and he gave me his background. He's like, hey, like I've worked with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like I did this song and this song. And he's just like listing the stuff that he's done. And I'm sitting there and my boy Faith was with me. Shout out Faith. I haven't seen him in forever, but he's standing next to me. Because he went with me. He was on the team with me. And we looked at each other. It was like this man has done some really cool stuff in his career. Like
Right.
very prestigious in music. And I was like, man, like this is definitely God. And I remember before starting, like we were just praying in the circle. I was like crying because I was like, I just felt the spirit, and I was like, man, this is definitely an answer to prayer. And so he finally told me, he's like, hey, by the way, so this is gonna be on the YouVersion Bible app, and
That's so.
it's gonna come out. Like there's gonna be a video done. It's for the 500 million download special. He didn't. I had no idea when it was gonna come out. It came out like I want to say like close to a month or two later, and I had no idea when it was gonna come out. No idea. I just knew it was coming out.
Yeah.
So I told some people around me, but I don't know why. It just like didn't process that was happening.
That's a huge deal.
It was a really big deal.
Especially in the Christian sector.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real. And I got up and went to class one day, and my friends put out their Bible app. I sat down, like chilling, like whatever. I got my food. And they were like, "Look, bro, like you're on the Bible app." And I was like, "Oh, sure." I was like, "Oh, he was being serious." I was like, "This man was not playing." And it charted 6 on Billboard, and that's how I got the plaque. I just got the plaque.
I was gonna say, I remember you getting it just. What was it, over the summer? Maybe you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the real plaque over the summer. I ordered a fake one, just to have in my dorm room because I didn't want to keep the real one in my
Right.
I ordered like a replica one. And that's the one that I posted because I got that one first. But yeah, that was the Lord's way of telling me, because I was like, God, you gotta make this obvious. I was like, bro, he reached out to me the next day, bro.
Yeah.
After I prayed that, I was like, if that's not obvious,
That's a sign.
I don't know what it
the Lord was looking out for you there.
literally.
So you said that's your second music video ever?
Yeah, so the one that I did before that, and that's crazy that she said that. She's like, you never know, like, what can happen. I reached out to you, Barkley.
Oh, shoot.
Part of the testimony. I got in touch with him and Ross, and bro, I sent them I sent you the goofiest video of. I like made this like weird animated thing that said "World." It was the song "World." It's taken down now, but it was a really good song. At least for that time, it was like one of the best songs I'd made for a long time. And he loved it, and he was like, "Bro, we're like, let's collab." And I was like, "That is like the rarest thing." Bro.
Yeah.
Just for them to say, let's collab.
I have like
that.
500 monthly listeners, maybe I think maybe close to 200. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And him and Ross really took me under their wing, and they taught me like how to be an artist, like changing my name and like artistry and branding and everything.
Just to clarify for everybody, Ross is one of your creative guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He's really good.
Dude, yeah.
Shout out to him.
He's so talented.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
Shout out to you. Shout out Ross.
Yeah, crushing it.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, that's so cool to hear just the Lord was giving you signs. He shut this door on soccer and he put music into your life. So what happened next after that music video when the YouVersion Bible app and all that?
Yeah.
What was kind of the next part of your journey?
So then we started having discussions, John and I, about going for a label, and then we came to the consensus that he thinks it would be best if I stayed independent.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Eventually things with Seasons Collective was the name of the collective that the Bible app thing was released with.
Yeah.
Things kind of just died down with that. I don't know if he's still doing that, but things kind of died down with that. And then I moved on to just trying to do my own thing, which is first and foremost was trying to grow in my faith.
Yeah.
Trying to put out music and then maturing in my faith. And you can definitely hear it in my songs. It's like the things that I used to talk about, most of those things I sing and rap about in my music, I do not sing and rap about now. I was like, I've come to a place now where I've just kind of wanted to like definitely rededicate everything that I do like to the Lord. So I'm trying to release stuff that's more like about the things of God. But anyways, next was just like focusing on my career, trying to build it, like really pressing into be like, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do now? Most of the stuff after that, honestly, was like getting thrown into like some of like the industry, like a small portion of it. Like, dude, God's a genius, bro. God is so smart. And I look back and I see this now. It's like, I really think by piece by piece, like little by little, like I was definitely like introduced to more and more of the industry. It wasn't like I got thrown in and it was like,
It wasn't overwhelming.
it wasn't overwhelming.
You kind of eased into it.
And I was definitely in a place of my faith at that time where I don't think I would have been ready to be someone that's like a huge artist. I would have misstewarded that so bad. So I'm really glad that that didn't happen, honestly, which is a crazy thing to say, but like you give someone too much success too quick and it could really ruin a person.
Yeah. We've seen that so many times in Hollywood.
Yeah, just the look at Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like point anywhere Hollywood. I think so.
Yeah. So I started meeting people. Jude introduced me to I think one of his first video shoots that he did for Reach. I got really introduced to like a lot of the people within the CHH community. It was Big Breeze I met, introduced me to Holby, Torshawn, Warren. I became friends with Warren. Wow, Eli. I became friends with Eli.
So you know Holby?
I don't know him personally, but I got to meet him.
That's pretty cool.
Holby would probably remember me. At the time, my music was really bad. So I made like one or two good songs.
Yeah.
So that's that the Lord is putting you in front of all these people, almost like a glimpse of the future type. Because if you're seeing all these big artists now, and you only have like so much music that's like listened by like 100 monthly listeners, dude, that is absolutely crazy.
Like them putting you in front of Steven Spielberg or somebody, and I'm just, oh my gosh,
I made like what 2 videos?
Yeah, I'm just, oh my gosh, how do I deal with it?
Yeah, bro, God is good. And, Jude and Ross too. I owe them so much credit because they were willing to do that, and that's like, bro, you can't put a price on that too, dude. To like the amount of kindness that both of them have showed me, in building my career, they've just showed me so much love, and they've really, really taught me and like, given me a foundation. And God definitely used them too.
Yeah.
Like Jude doesn't blatantly make like Christian music, but something that I'll always say is like, bro, you can tell that someone loves God from how they live their life, and you can tell that from both of them.
Yeah.
Jude and Ross.
On socials and in real life.
Yeah,
and all that.
for sure.
Dang.
So, but I started meeting a bunch of people. John introduced me to some really, really cool people. So I have some really unique experiences on that side. Got to have a conversation with Dante Bowe. That was pretty cool. He loves the Lord, dude. He's such a devout man of God. But yeah, so basically, long story short, is I started meeting people, started growing, started releasing more songs. And then later on, so I told the story wrong. So that the Bible app thing happened, I think it was fall of my freshman year. The summer after is when I started praying about transferring to Liberty.
Yeah.
So I came to Liberty my technically junior year, my third year of college.
Right.
So that summer I started really wrestling with, man, like I should leave because so many of my friends were leaving. I felt like a dog in a corner. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I left, made the decision with 2 weeks before the semester started here in 2023. or 20. It was either 2022 or 2023.
I think it was 22 because I remember you at Block Party in April of 2023.
Yes.
You performed with
You're right.
Jordan Richards, or I think that's his name.
You're right. It feels like it's been so long.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was literally Shocker. You did Shocker with
we
Richards.
did Shocker.
Yep.
We did Shocker with Jordan.
That's where I got introduced to you. That's literally,
really?
That's literally where I got introduced to you.
Oh, okay. I thought I knew you way before that.
No, we literally met then.
Oh, cool.
When I heard Shocker, and I remember thinking, "Dang, I love this song."
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's literally when I met you.
Let's go. Sick.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I transferred then,
yeah,
and then, bro, crazy, bro. What am I like? Transferring with 2 weeks before the semester started, like, bro, I remember this. I was driving to a practice that I had over the summer because I was still playing college soccer. I was trying to set up a meeting with my coach to like, I wanted to be polite and like
Yeah,
in person and
politely,
like, have manners and be like, hey, like I'm leaving. And I was like, could we meet like before the practice? Cause like, I was like, if I'm quitting, like I don't want to practice.
Right.
So he's like, no, I can't meet, like, blah, 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 like, because you talked to me after. I was like, nah. I was like, I ended up calling him, and I was like, hey, like, I really feel like God is calling me to leave and go to Liberty and, like, chase music and pursue that as my career. No shade, but, like, I'm leaving. Thanks for everything. And he was like, I completely understand. He was super polite about it.
dang, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the music's hard, bro. You know,
Bro, I see a few shoes.
I see the vision. You know, love it.
Yeah. I definitely, and I butted heads with my coach many times and had some really, really hard meetings. But you know, that call was a really great call. And
Yeah.
he near the end of like everything that had happened, especially the last probably 6 months, like everything was really good. So I'm glad I got to end it on good terms. I also I went back eventually, and I just walked into his office and just said, hey, and like asked my family stuff is doing, because I didn't want to leave on like bad terms with anyone and burn a bridge or whatever you want to call it.
That's so good.
Because like I generally do like outside of soccer and everything, but like it's just a game, and it's not anybody's fault that this is God's plan for my life.
Right.
It's God, you know.
Yeah.
So in that regard, left that behind. He was super understanding, and then I came here and started learning,
Yeah.
started growing. So it's been a journey.
It's actually crazy. So I talk about this to Ryan a lot. Just how many people at Liberty and, you know, within our circle are just so talented at music and photography and video and stuff like that. I got to know you. I met you at that block party and we didn't talk much, but, you know, then you knew Isaac. So Isaac Mather. And then, you know, we met there. And, yeah. Shout out Isaac Mather.
Yeah.
Biggest goofball ever.
You didn't watch the last episode. He's on the episode.
Yeah. He's on the episode literally before you.
We probably laughed the whole time.
Oh no.
It was bad.
Yeah,
We had to cut out like 30 minutes, but because we were just
yeah. But it's so cool that how the Lord connected all of us through. I mean, you know, initially I loved your music and I thought it was dope. And I thought I'd like to make music videos for this guy. And then we connected through Isaac and other people. And now it's just crazy. Our circle of friends, all these people who are so talented and stuff like that. Did you see the Lord just bringing these people into your life to help meet needs in your life? You know, coming to a new school 2 weeks before it started. How do you see the Lord working through all that?
Dude, you're right on the money with that, bro. Because I generally remember praying about this too. So I was like I'm pretty sure I was in my dorm room praying, and I was like, God, I don't know how am I gonna make content? Like, how am I gonna do videos? How am I gonna continue my artistry and branding, do pictures? Like, I don't know anybody here, and I did not have the money to be able to like fly Roz out.
Yeah,
still be able to pay him his rate for his videos, which he had already given me so many discounts, and he deserved so much more, but I just couldn't pay it.
Right. Yeah.
So I did with what I had, and then I was like, God, like, please provide me with someone that's here that, you know, like is willing to do these things where I don't have to pay like everything that I have in my bank account. So God brought me Caleb. Woo! So there is that. We have an amazing team, and they have helped me tremendously in my career. I'm hoping, Lord willing, one day I'll be actually able to put them on payroll and pay them what they deserve to be paid. But for now, like, they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart and serving the Lord. And in a way, I'm still doing the same thing as just serving the Lord because, you know, I'm not there yet, but we're growing and making way.
You are growing. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, the thing about you is I believe in your vision and your music. And that's the coolest thing for me, that you give me a lot of creative freedom. I'll come to you with an idea. I'll hear a song and you'll say, yeah, let's do it. And you'll give me that creative freedom, which to me is huge. I get to exercise cool concepts and stuff. And in turn, you get a pretty dope music.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At the same time.
It's a win-win exchange, man.
It's exchange of hands right there. Creative freedom, cool music video go hand in hand.
Speaking up, did you just post a music video?
Yes. Double Dutch. Yes. Double Dutch went so hard filming that in a parking lot. Yeah. Or not a parking lot.
The gas station.
The gas
like in the middle of the dark forest.
If you haven't seen Double Dutch yet, check it out. Great music video. Had a lot of fun with it. Now. I might have a cameo in it.
He might be in it.
He pretended to be he acted as an evil director, an angry director. His name.
Where were you guys?
Running late.
I love that because we had wrapped all the performance shots, everything, and then it's just like, guys, what if we did it?
Oh yeah.
I didn't think we'd be doing that, but I said, all right, I guess we're doing this.
Dude, I love
that kind of stuff in videos.
Yeah, more story stuff.
Yeah,
but kind of at the beginning. Yeah. Also, shout out to Grant the Kid. Bro is killing it as well. Grant the Kid in Danmar on Double Dutch. Super fun music video. It's crazy. I had to get permission to shoot there at that gas station, and it literally ended up being such a good location.
It was a great location.
What we were going for. Also, shout out to Xander Lazo. You know, great PA, art director. Bro killed it. I need to text you and tell you that the music video is out.
Have you not done it yet?
No, Xander, I'm so sorry. He doesn't have social media. So
social media?
No, he doesn't. Yeah, not really.
I respect that.
I respect that.
But also, you weren't doing video, man.
Yeah.
Social media.
Speaking of social media, how have you been able to, since obviously you've grown in your faith a lot, you're still growing, but you've grown a ton in your faith. You're super open on social medias about your faith, your music. Have you had any conversations with people on social media where they said, hey, I heard your song or I heard your story. That really impacted me.
Oh, yeah. Dude, probably a lot, probably more than I can count.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of, especially when I posted my testimony, that was like the beginning of the whole like social media growth thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was my grandfather's funeral or what. I was at my grandparents' house and it was like 2 a.m. and I was like, I'm just gonna make a testimony video and just post it. And I woke up and it like had a ton of views and likes. So I was like, whoa, I didn't realize
yeah.
So that happened, and I got tons of messages of people being like, hey, like, I just quit sport, or I just quit football, or I just quit track, I just quit soccer. Like, how did you deal with that? And I didn't realize the impact and the relatability that would have at all. I was like, oh, like, I quit my sport.
Yeah.
But in a way, like, it was super significant because, like, if you think about it, I had worked for that for, like, 14 years. And especially being so young, of like 18, 19, maybe like 12, 13 years at that time, like that's your whole life. You have to do something and then you have to give that up. But what does Jesus say? It's like those who lose their lives will find theirs.
Yeah.
Or will find life through Jesus. So it's like I had to give up all of who I was and take up my cross and follow Jesus. And all of who Daddy was included soccer and my identity being in that. And God definitely had to prune me of that and like remove that from my life.
Yeah.
Which I'm so glad he did. Like I'm glad that that's gone. Like as much as I love the game and I do miss it, and sometimes I really do miss like being at Truett. But like, dude, God's purpose for your life is my life and our lives is so much more fulfilling than what we would want for ourselves. So.
How do you obviously now your identity is in Christ, and then you have music. How do you keep Christ at the center of things and not let music overtake that identity?
One thing is knowing whether or not it's an idol, and that takes discernment. So if I am getting to the point where I am making songs instead of spending time with the Lord, then maybe it's time to take a step back.
Yeah.
When I really, really struggled with temptation, especially early on finding the Lord, one of the ways I would fast is fasting music because I loved it so much. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
like fasting music through like not listening to anything but worship. And you know, being an artist, being an engineer, you want to be well-rounded, so it's good, and you're always encouraged to listen to as much music and as different genres as you can. Because something Lecrae said that I think is very wise is he said, if you're gonna be good at what you do, you've got to watch the people that are good at it. You've got to watch like the top dogs. So for me, I've got to listen to the people that are the best. It's like listening to Drake, listening to Kanye, and not like I don't come in agreement with the message that they have through their music.
Right.
But the way that they deliver it, their cadences, the artistry, the work, the quality, it's like you want to replicate that and use those skills to the glory of God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That for sure is like definitely fasting and having discernment, I think is the big part, is knowing when to take a step back, because, you know, you don't want it to be an idol. Like a friend of mine said, when something is on the throne of your heart, you need to dethrone it. Is like Christ should be what we desire over literally everything else in our lives. And it can be, scripture says to examine yourself, especially before something like taking communion. But there are multiple times in scripture where it says, examine yourself. Like, are you really living a life that is fully surrendered to the Lord right now? So yeah, if I'm putting Christ after music, then there's a major issue there, and I need to take a step back from that, which I have done. So it's sometimes, but yeah.
Then I guess my last question for you is, what is the future for you? Kind of what's next for Danmar?
So, you know, that's like asking me to predict the future. I really don't know, but
What do you want your future to, or I guess, what do you want the Lord to implement into your future?
yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, hopefully my will, what I want, aligns with God's will. And I know that definitely involves music in some capacity.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like to be married within the next 2 years and be able to support myself just from what I'm doing, being a full-time artist. Hopefully, sorry, I'm burping. I drink so much coffee. Hopefully, I'll be able to be a full-time artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, just supporting myself off streams, either independent or signed. Doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I just need to find my lane, find my sounds. I mean, I'm definitely good at like a couple of genres, but I really need to like lock in and find what really works for me.
Yeah.
And stick to that. And then once I have success there, I mean, I'll be good to go. So I'm very blessed to say I have a lot of mentors that are helping me figure all that out. So yeah, I would just love to be married, have a family, serve in a church with music in some capacity, and just be a full-time artist.
Dude, those are such good goals.
Yeah, it's so obvious in your life, especially just like your whole testimony and everything. It's just so obvious that the main driver of it all is just purpose.
Yeah.
Just purpose. Like God literally pulled you out of a soccer team, being part of like a team of 11 plus, where it's just like you guys play on a field all the time and play like high performance. And now he's like, okay, I'm going to pull you aside, but I'm going to make sure that the calling I placed on your life is going to be more singular, where you're developing yourself. But over time, it kind of ended up becoming like a team, where now you have people that mentor you in the process.
Yeah,
And-
creative teamwork too.
No, yeah.
And you're mentoring other people, like
True.
Grant's a newcomer to this whole thing, and
Yeah, you're mentoring people too, which is so cool to see.
Yeah, in your life, it's so obvious that God is behind it all, especially with the whole being in front of all these big artists, or at least having your name in front of these big artists with like 2 or a couple of songs or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's obvious that the trajectory is just going in that direction.
Yeah.
You just got to keep on going, honestly.
Yeah.
And don't give up, because I think I could say out of everybody, like all of us, you're super talented. And I think
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, literally.
like, they dedicate time to you to do the double touch music and everything. But yeah, like it's obvious that God has a call in your life to
do ministry, but online through auditory means, which is like music, you know, because in a world that's so saturated with secular music, you're a light, you know? And yeah, you have an amazing testimony. It's so good to hear somebody going through it and at the end of the day, giving God the glory.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That's good, bro.
God is good. Yeah.
He's so good.
No, and you become such a great friend, and I'm thankful that the Lord put you in my life through Liberty and all these circumstances. And you've given me an opportunity to do more creative stuff with music videos. So that really, and you're just a great friend and a good guy who, I mean, honestly, your faith inspires me a lot. I'm a relatively young Christian as well, a true Christ follower, I guess 4 years now, and I have a lot to learn. So it's super cool to hear someone like you who is going to continue to get better and continue to skyrocket, who also loves Jesus and be in this industry and be a light in that industry. So that is so cool. All right. Well, I think we've yapped a lot. So I want to end it right here with a nice little clink. How much do we have left?
I don't know.
He's gotten
Bro's going to clink air. So, all right. Yo, finish it up. All right. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
he knows a solid clink.
Solid clink. Solid clink.